Gonna be waiting here, waiting for the first person out on track. Interesting to see who it'll be. Oh, see some movement. What pit box is that? Oh, Racing Point immediately out. Both the cars. Ooh, Williams right between as well. You can see Eddie, first one out on track, followed swiftly after Rigby and G Infamous, who all seem to be racing quite tightly for getting this first out. Rigby backing off there, doing the smart thing. Eddie though with the Senna-inspired helmet, I like it. Rigby obviously dropping back to try and get some clean air here instead of fighting over this, but Lars also doing the same, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult for him. You see though, Eddie is going to be coming around here, just about to start his lap, but his teammate seems very intent on following him here. Hopefully that invalidated lap isn't going to carry over to the next as well. That's going to be very annoying for him. Ooh, G Infamous just backing off there. He's got to make sure he doesn't back off too much and get in the way of this AlphaTauri. It's not quite enough for clean air there, but it should be enough space to at least get something done. Let's go on board with Eddie. See what's going to happen here. Let's hope we don't have too many spins and incidents this race, because so far the practice races haven't shown too great for driving, but first one up Eau Rouge, nice and clean. Great line. Eddie's going to be trying to carry all lap speed though for the Camel here. Absolutely maxed out. Purple sector 1 of course. Oh, a little bit too much curb from him though. That's going to ruin his sector 2. Just taking a nice conservative line, not going all out since that little curve grabbing incident. Let's have a look. G Infamous seems to be kind of, Lars seems to be getting a bit closer onto G Infamous there. He might want to try and pull away a little bit. Lars is definitely going to be struggling with that dirty air there. It's not going to be helping him on his lap. Then Rigby slightly further at his back as well. Gets lapping. Got high hopes for Rigby. Hope he can actually get something in. But let's see what Eddie's lap is. It's not been the cleanest of laps, but just for initial lap it'll be pretty solid if he does decide to finish it. He is. Let's see, where's this going to put him? Well, obviously P1, but what time sheet? 44.974, pretty solid. Lars immediately smashing it though with a 43.838. Eddie, Bonnie with a 43.918. Rigby with a 44.356. Chemical Wolf with a 44.8. 940. Obviously we saw Eddie's, his teammate Infamous with a 45.123. Who just went there? Mr. Silence with a 44.786, right between Rigby and Chemical Wolf there. Bada with a 45.367 and Connor with a 45.404. Ooh. Looked like M&T Rocker there, just sitting right with his teammate in 5th and 6th with a 44.939. Very solid lap from him. I think taking purple sector 3 there that lap. Ooh, some very solid commitment there going up a Rouge. Nah, but he's backing off. Ooh. And yellow flags here surrounding the Renault. Yellow to match Renault. Seems to have been sorted now. I think it was a little bit of a pile up. With all the front runners just very bunched together, as you can see. Everybody going for the soft compound, but that may change. Some may do back off on their lap, or some may switch later and try and do better on the mediums. As softs or mediums are definitely optional trier for this track. Let's go on board with Johnny here. Ooh, a little bit in the grass there. Who would I say my favourites for today? So far, it's looking like Lars all the way. Lars, and I'm going to say Johnny's going to set a solid time. Yep, perfect. With a 43.927, I'm going to say Lars and Johnny. And I'm going to hope something from Bonnie. Bonnie, I think, might drop down in order a little bit when more times are set, but I think he's going to come back in the race and do pretty solid. But that's just my estimations. Belgium's known for shaking it up quite a lot, so we'll see. Sukablet there, I think, just setting a time going P10 with a 45.173. Ooh, but TJW out of nowhere in the Haas with a 43.216, absolutely blowing everybody else out the water. Maybe I've got a new favourite for this race. 6/10 faster than Lars. That was an absolute flyer, although I don't think that's quite the line he took on his hot lap, at least I hope not. Getting out of the way of the McLaren here. Let's see which one this is. Manon up to P2 with a 43.351. This grid's really getting shaken up here. Have a little look. Anybody got any contact or anything? Warning for Sukablet, just crossing the pit lane, but that seems to be all it's really an issue. A couple have validated, but of course with a track like this you are going to struggle occasionally with running too tight or too far away from curbs. Yellow flag though. I'm trying to remember. No, I don't think TJW did win last week. I believe it's somebody who's no longer in the tier got moved up. It was Share Shaft won last weekend. Share Shaft won last weekend, but I believe he and P2 have been moved up from last weekend to tier 3. because they were just racing in a league of their own. So TJW obviously swooping in to fill the place here. But Manon closing in with that 351. Still a massive gap though between second and third. Almost 5/10 still. Let's go on board with Rigby here, a fellow commentator. Obviously, it's nobody opting for the medium still. Still time in the session though. Seems like a very solid lap from Rigby here. We'll have to wait till he gets to the line. He should be able to hold it together till the end. Hopefully he can move up from the P7. Oh, invalidating. Hopefully moving up from the P7 he's currently sitting in though. There are positions on the table for him here. Hopefully we can see these two Ferraris. They originally started quite high in 5th or 6th, but as more people set laps, they've been moved down more. Ooh, I believe that was Eddie there, going P7 with a 44.179, just barely missing out on his teammate. Ooh, Connor retiring early. I believe that was just a pit lane retirement. Obviously just trying to preserve tyres, I think. Save them for the race. So it's going to mean he is probably most likely starting at the back. As long as there's no disqualifications and Isolate with Flair and Noof do better than his 45.404 benchmark he is set. It's a very close qualifying though. Only 2.2 seconds from the best time to the worst time so far. Not quite sure what happened there. I think G Infamous just kind of lost it on the wide line there. Let's have a look at Mr. Silence here. I believe he's just started his lap. Directly behind Larsh, I believe. Let's see. No, it's not Larsh. It is Isolate with Flair, who's trying to set a lap. Let's go in with Isolate and see what he can pull out of the bag. Purple Sector 1, great start. Boy, is that a vibrant helmet. And a very nice line through there. So, let's see if he can match his teammate, currently sitting in P4 here. This could be a great race for the AlphaTauris. So far, this has been a beautiful lap from Isolated with Flair. Purple Sector 2 as well. This could take down TJW's lap. Just going through bus stop now. Very solid line. And then clicking on the DRS. And is it going to be P1? No. P6, just barely behind Johnny with a 43.937. TJW leaving. I don't believe that was on purpose. I would send him an invite, but I don't believe I'm friends with TJW, so I'll have to try and leave that up to somebody else. You know what? Can probably find him. Search. There we go. Sent him an invite. Hopefully he can get back. looks like Sukablet's run out of fuel here. Bonnie, though, a great early lap, but he's not quite come and beat it yet, so he's definitely trying to do that. But I believe Sukablet did get in his way there, just sitting on the racing line. Ooh, MNT Rocker retiring. Obviously opting to stick with his P14 he's in right now. Although he may drop back even further. Hopefully people like Rigby, Temi and Bada could actually do a better lap though and get to the top 10. So that's the optimal starting place. Go on board with Rigby here. Ooh, isolate with Flair. Finally doing the lap I hoped for with a 1:30.43, sorry. If he did a 30, that'd be something. 1:43.174. What a lap. Really showing up. Now it's Lars that's been made the fool. Lars has got to come back and try and improve on that and match his teammate here. Ooh, but Rigby just putting in the wall. So you saw there, TJW back. Good to see. Yeah, just car slipped out from underneath him there, it looked like. That's going to be a shame for Rigby. I don't think he's got time to get round and get into the pits and get another lap. I think that's him set. Realistically, he may move down maybe 1 or 2 positions, but best position's now set in stone with P11. You can see Temi falling behind. He could be up to take his P11, but obviously not going particularly fast for some reason. Not going full throttle, I'm not quite sure what that's about. Obviously not improving there. Rigby retiring, just knowing he's not going to get something in, so head into the pits and retiring. Let's see, I believe Manning's just started his lap. Let's see if he can improve and maybe catch up to isolate with Flair. Johnny retiring as well, that's going to set him in at P7 there, if he isn't beaten. Let's see what Manning can do here. Obviously, Manning showing that he was quite a solid earlier performer, purple sector 1 as well. This could be a good sign for him right here. Catch up to isolate with Flair, who just pulled a lap out of the bag so late into the session, but it's obviously a good sign. TJW obviously not besting him, so he's going to miss out on getting that P1, but it's going to be up to Manning and Mr. Silence, who've both been quite close to the pace. Or potentially isolate with Flair's teammate Lars, who had a great start but has slowly been pushed down the order and hasn't quite gotten the lap he's hoped for, I'd assume. Still just waiting on Manning, Mr. Silence, Lars and G Infamous here. Last ones to set the lap. Ooh, running a bit wide there, but it's still allowed the lap. Not improving though. Let's go on board with Mr. Silence. And that's P1. 43.047. Blowing isolated with Flair's lap out of the water. Almost a 1/10.5 faster. I believe we're just waiting on G Infamous. Oh, and he's retired. the session over. Yeah, exactly. Just pulled that lap out of the bag. A beautiful drive from the Dutchman there. So that's going to be Mr. Silence starting P1, Isolate with Flair starting P2, and TJW starting P3. Let's see how this can go. So it's going to be very interesting with these three. They're just all so close together. I saw TJW starting it pretty much at the start of the session with that lap, and then it took a while before Isolate with Flair improved in it and then retired. And Mr. Silence just right at the last second, as we saw there, just getting that lap in. If he can perform like that in the race, then he's won already. See though, qualifying doesn't always transfer into the race. Qualifying never really shows exactly what's going to happen in the race. It can give you a rough idea, but you never know, it can always change. It's definitely shaken up my predictions from the start of quali though. A few of my early predictions have shifted down the order, but you never know. Different strategies could prevail here, as I'm going to assume there's going to be at least one sort of safety car, as it's a very tricky track and it seems to be consistent with most of the practice races that there's been retirements. So I believe there may be one or two, hopefully. Not too many though. Want to see a solid finish from some of these guys. Or all of these guys, to be honest. Just waiting on Isolated with Flair here. Just loading in. There we go. Gonna have the formation lap here. If I can have audio, that is. Not quite sure what's happening here. Let me back out real quick. I don't seem to be able to do anything. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a late. Bada and M&T Rocker, though, colliding there. I think that must have been turn one with how early that was. That's going to ruin their start. Well, yeah, as we can see, some of them opting for different compounds, with Rigby opting for the mediums in the perfect place to do so. That's definitely going to shake it up. If he can get a solid start and pass a couple of the soft runners here, it could put him in contention for at least a P5, if not more. See though, Bada running the softs and M&T Rocker running the mediums, that is not going to be great for him because it's going to take a while for those mediums to heat up, unlike Bada's softs. But it may not do less long-term impact, as Bada will have to get immediately on it, whereas M&T Rocker can take his time there and warm those tyres up for the first couple laps, then get in the groove. Chemical Wolf, his teammate, also going for the mediums. Hopefully they have planned their pit stops out well, that they don't bump into each other. Connor also with the medium, and Noof with the mediums. Everybody else running softs. Isolate with Flair just joining back there. Apparently leaving, didn't quite catch that. There's a bit of a gap here between TJW and Isolate with Flair. Luckily these guys backing off here. And you see the predicted stop for softs and mediums, taking the softs to 8 or 9 laps and then mediums the end, or slightly earlier if they've opted for the hards, but we'll have to see if anybody's chosen the hards, because I think it'll be much more of a strategical play than an on-track play, as that will be slower, but if there is a safety car that comes out, it could benefit them. Get all lined up here. Hopefully the lights will go in just a second. Not quite sure while we're waiting. There may have been a joining error here and it might have froze. Let's hope it starts, or we may have to restart this race. So I have experienced this before. I think we may need to restart this race. I don't believe the lights are going to go out anytime soon. That's not great to see. I believe that might have been isolated with flares rejoining there that did that. Sometimes rejoining under formation can cause bugs like this and it just doesn't go. I think we may have to do a wee restart here. Let's hope the officials are seeing this. Yeah, as you can see. Oh,